So, greetings, my lovelies. I had posted a second build video for the double Yamatos. This is for the Mecha Collection, but after I had uploaded it, I started talking with Rebels at Cloud9, and I was watching his video because he had done this the build of this as well. He's also doing the 1,000 scale, so I think you need to look at that or else. But anyhow, I was looking at his build, and he had painted the windows, and I'm like, crap, I forgot that part. So technically this is going to be the last video. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I just want to just do the windows real quick. So I figure this might be a chance to show how I do this for people who are new in the hobby. So the instructions call for Mr. Hobby colors like pale green and emerald green, and to mix that in a certain ratio. However, I don't want to go out and buy those two paints because I don't know when I'll ever get around to ever using them. Now, I did consider possibly using lime green. This is Mr. Hobby Aqueous. But I don't know. I thought about it, but traditionally I've always seen the models of the Yamato. The windows are always painted up in yellow, and I was looking at one of my the older Yamato modeling guidebook that I have, and in that book the windows are painted yellow. So I just have some Testors enamel paints. Okay. This is just regular yellow, gloss yellow. So for you inexperienced modelers with lots of questions, take note that I had painted these with lacquer paints. Lacquer is very strong, and if you paint enamel on top of it or acrylic on top of it, you can wipe off those paints with enamel paint thinner or acrylic paint thinner respectively, and it will not damage the lacquer paint because the lacquer is the strongest. And I had done the clear coat with the Mr. Super Clear, which is also lacquer. So I'm not concerned about if I mess up with this fine detailing that it'll damage the paint at all. Okay, so when you're doing like super fine details on like the windows here and on like the command tower, you need a really good brush. Now this is pretty nice, and I use this for a lot of detailing like panel lines and such. It's a pretty thin. I mean, this is like my pinky finger here. It's pretty small. It's pretty accurate. It's yeah. Now this, however, I picked this up at the oh gosh, where did I get this thing? Yeah, that's right. It was the Summer Wonder Festival in Chiba, and I believe it was last year. And I picked this up at the Warhammer, the Citadel paints. They have their stuff on display there, and this is where I bought it. Now check out this. Now I got this at like a regular modeling store or a craft store, I can't remember which, but this is super thin. Okay, and this is called, it says the Army Painter, and it says Wargamer the Psycho. I don't know why they call it the Psycho, but it is extremely fine. So I'm going to use this. I don't really use this very often, but this is a good excuse to get this one out. Okay, so what I have here is just some enamel paint in this little tray here, and I just squirted this. I dumped some paint into here, and then I squirted a little bit of just like a drop of Tamiya enamel paint thinner, because Tamiya enamel paint thinner works just fine with Testors enamel paints, and I just dropped it in with a glass pipette here. So I started up. It's pretty nice because this is an older paint, and it's getting slightly kind of thick. So that's why I wanted to use enamel paint thinner to kind of loosen it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna dab this in here like so. There. Okay. Now, what I want to do is kind of move this out of the way here. Get this close up here. Okay, so what I want to do is just paint in here. So what I like to do is just kind of stabilize my hands together like this. Just kind of touch the fingers together. And you know, it also helps if I take it off the stand. I should do that first. Okay. Alright. Just lightly drag it across here. There we go. Now, if I make a little slight mistake, what I can do is, you've seen these before, I mostly use these for cleaning out my airbrush, but these are like these super fine tipped Tamiya cotton swabs. So, just very, very lightly brush this on. And there. Helps to have a steady hand. Gosh, you know, I've seen some videos of these guys and their hands are like kind of like shaking like this. I hope I never get to that point in my life. And I just turned 39 a few weeks ago, so hopefully I'm not going to be showing any signs of real age or whatever. You know, I'm hoping that I'll continue this hobby into my retirement years, you know. So hopefully this is focusing okay. It looks okay in the viewfinder, but you never know. So there, oops, not too much there. There. Yeah. And if really necessary, what I could do is use my lamp here. Say, it's got a magnifying glass here. So, get my little tripod stand up right. Okay, now, that's looking kind of nice so far. What I think I'll do is just remove excess with that fine-tipped cotton swab. There. So it's kind of splorchy, I guess. Yeah, but that's okay right now. So yeah, I don't know if I guess I have to look at the show again. See, I kind of messed that up a little bit. I guess it might look green in the $21.99, but like the older models before $21.99 came along, these were always yellow. So to me, in my mind, I always kind of think of these windows as yellow, and so I'm just gonna drag it in through here, and then just use the cotton swab to kind of make it look nicer when I go over it again. I just want to get it in the middle and just kind of, you know, wipe off from the outside. The problem is that it wants to accumulate in the middle of the brush instead of at the tip of the brush. don't know that's about. But, so yeah, it looks kind of ugly. But, that's okay. Because when I wipe it off like here, only the paint in the middle is going to remain. Now, the detail is far more pronounced on the $21.99 kit. The problem, the difficult one, is going to be the old Mecha Collection, because the detail's kind of soft on that one. Not really that easy to work with. There. So yeah, just get in each. And again, it's wanting to accumulate at the middle instead of on the bottom. See, now that's totally messed up there. And getting way too much. Yeah, that's pretty sloppy. Yeah, that's too sloppy. But we're going to be removing that anyways. Just get it within the lines. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There. See, this looks a lot better. And I think I'm touching the other side. Crap. Gotta be careful about that. Spaz. I'm kind of late. It's kind of late at night here, so. Oh well. Spent the day with my daughter today, going for a walk. Didn't really have any time for modeling. Actually, aside from that recent trip to the hobby square, Shizuoka Hobby Square, to do the sweets decorations, that was the only modeling time I've had. And all I did was just record my daughter doing this stuff. I haven't really gotten to work on anything in a few weeks. School has just started and such for my daughter, so she's a first grader. Alright, now this one is going to be a little bit more difficult. Now, it just has a bunch of like windows, and there's no way to make this look nice. I'm just gonna have to just make this solid, I guess, all the way across. Huh. Yeah, the shape is totally different actually on this. Didn't even notice that until just now. Okay, well, that looks kind of cool, I guess. Just kind of want to keep this straight. Okay. Now for the command tower. Oh crap, see, I'm touching it already. God, I suck. Redo this now. Suckalicious. Bob Saget. Alright, here we go. Let me just dab it into, you got these little grooves here. There. I went ahead and just removed all of that paint, and I'm just going to start it over again. So with the acrylic, I'm sorry, the enamel paint thinner, I was able to wipe it all off, and it does not harm. the actual body paint at all. So that's why it seems like here in Japan, you know, unlike in the States where people just use enamels all the time, it seems that, you know, I'm sorry, it seems like, you know, in the United States or whatever, people just use enamels for everything, you know, painting the entire model and such. Here in Japan, enamels seem to be mostly just for doing detail work, such as this. And here in Japan, people use a lot more lacquer than what is commercially available in the United States. When you come to think of it, I don't know. I mean, there's Alclad, those are lacquers, but I don't know. I don't know if there's much lacquers to be found. Whereas here in Japan, there's a lot to choose from when it comes to lacquers. Enamels, on the other hand, are lacking. There's Tamiya enamels, but that's about it. I mean, if I have to choose, I would much rather prefer the variety of testers enamels, because Tamiya paints are, you know, they're nice, but they don't really have quite the color palette. So, anyhow, this is looking a lot nicer this the second time around. Okay, so what I do now is just get one of these cotton swabs, dip it in some enamel paint thinner. Now what I do, just get a rag and just kind of rub the swab onto the rag, because I don't want to have this dripping. And, oh crap, I touched the side again already. I have to fix that again. So I'm just going over the bridge area, and the yellow stays in the cracks. That's easy. The problem is that there's a little bit of excess. I have to take care of that with a finer tip swab. There. I see, okay. Yeah, that got rid of most of it. Let me dip the other end in. Wipe off the excess. And give that another pass. There. I'll get back to this later. Okay, so it's gonna rub off the excess. And hopefully I'm just gonna get yellow paint in the middle areas. Okay. On the top part, this actually looks pretty nice here. Oh, that looks perfect now. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. Now look at the fine-tipped. Pick off the excess. Yeah, I did these portals on the side here. It's kind of, actually, that's one little detail I like about the old kit, is that it has some round portal windows on the sides here of the command tower, and don't see that on the old, or on the new 2199 one. Now let me redab that. Those two portals there. Looks nice. Okay, so this is about as good as I can get at this scale. What I did was, yeah, this is the next morning, and I used an X-Acto knife to very, very, very carefully scrape away some of the excess paints to make it a bit straighter on the sides here. You can see the portals in the command tower and the various windows are lit up with yellow. And that one turned out pretty nice here on the side. For the $21.99, it's a little bit sloppy, but you know, this is about as good as I can get. And what's really comforting is that when I look at like modeling magazines, when you get super up close, you can see the flaws with paint applications in those as well. So I guess I'm not gonna soak my pillow with tears tonight for not getting it really perfect. But when you're dealing with really tiny ships like this, it's really difficult to make it look perfect. So got this here. It more or less looks okay. So, well, yeah, there you go. This is how I paint minute details, I guess. So it's a bit tricky when you're dealing with really small scales. But here are the two ships together. So thanks for watching.